This empty chair represents the addict who died today, not knowing recovery was possible.
Hi there, I'm Phil Leahy along with Colleen, and we'd like to welcome you to another edition of The Empty Chair, Exposing Addiction. And again, before we even start, I want to thank MCTV and all the volunteers that allow us to make it possible for us to do these shows every month. Also, for those of you who haven't seen, if you want to see some of our past episodes, you can go to YouTube and search The Empty Chair Show. You can get caught up or tell it to people who don't live in Methuen, and you know, they can follow along with us. What we try to do with some of our shows is people have been emailing us and letting us know what they'd like to see, certain topics, and something I've been getting a lot of requests for has been the effects of the kids of an addict. And I'm really pleased because this is not something somebody likes to come out and talk about, but we're very fortunate that we got a pretty courageous young girl here who's ready to come out and tell her story and kind of show you just how powerful the disease of addiction is. So with that, I'm going to let Colleen introduce our guest star.
Yes. Again, my name's Colleen, and I'm an addict. I'm in recovery. You know, like I do anything I can to just try and make my life a little bit better every day, and that includes doing this show and just like getting the word out there. And part of getting better, like for me and for people that I associate with, is talking about what's going on, because that in turn ends up helping out somebody else, and it kind of breaks the stigma that goes, you know, that's attached to being an addict. You know, people just think that it's like street people and, you know, like just the bottom of the barrel of like life, and that's just, you know, that's just like lies basically and judgments. And like the show is important because we're trying to, you know, break free of that, and you know, that, you know, addicts are people, like we're human beings, and we're just trying to get better. And you know, Liz has agreed to come on and do the show and tell a little bit about her story. And she's a parent, you know, like she has a 9-year-old son. His name is Davey, and she's going to come on and just tell us a little bit about what it was like, you know, when you had just a little bit of like your backstory.
Okay, with my son, I got pregnant when I was young. I got pregnant for like the wrong reason, to like make my family happy. But I had never done any like really hard drugs or anything like that. My friends were all into like using heroin and stuff like that. So, and I kind of like parted from them when I got pregnant. You know, we don't like to hang out together. You know, they were all doing their own thing. And so after I had my baby, I was really depressed. Like I was going through a really bad depression, you know, and I didn't really know anything else to do but drink or use something, you know. And so these people kind of came back into my life, and like it made me really vulnerable to what they were doing. And like I started like shooting heroin, you know, and from then it just went completely downhill. Like I didn't know where it was like bringing me. I had an apartment, I had a son, I had a boyfriend, like I had all that stuff. I had a car, you know, but none of that stuff made me happy. Throughout my whole life, it was either drinking, doing pills, anything like that, but it was always too much of something. Right. So I started hanging around with them, and it looked like, you know, we're having fun. Like this is fun. Like everyone does this, you know, like sticking a needle in your arm. That's not normal.
So you were using on a daily basis at that point?
At that point, it started off kind of slow. Like I still had my son, so it was like I knew I had responsibility. Like I had to get up, I had to give him a bath, I had to, you know, when he was sick at night, like I had to get up with him and like rock him to sleep, you know. But as time went on and my using went on and the stress level went up, because the kid I was with was going in and out of jail. As the stress level went up, the stress level with my son went up, you know. It was like little things I couldn't really handle doing with him anymore, you know, like waking up in the night and, you know, just like playing with him. Like I lost interest in all of that stuff. Like I was really like consumed like by myself, you know, like and so basically like I kept going in and out of detox. Like I did get a habit in detox because I was following this boy, you know. I took my son and everything like that meant so much to me before, and I just shifted it all aside. Like it didn't matter anymore, you know, only I mattered. And, you know, and then my habit did start getting worse and worse. And like, you know, and I was leaving my son with friends and I just trusted them, automatically just trusted them, you know, because it was kind of like a problem to have him. I mean, I loved him. I definitely did. Like, you know, maybe at the time I didn't really know what love was too well. You know, when I was growing up, I didn't really have an easy life, you know, like, you know, being taught like this is love and, you know, and stuff like that. So it was just like that with my son. But so he was staying with my friends and everything like that. And do you want to go into how he got taken away and everything?
Yeah, so the using kind of like progressed and that kind of
so now
became more important than...
You're up to the point where you're like full blown.
Because what happened was the kid I was depending on for drugs and a living space, everything like that, he went to prison, you know. And this was like maybe like 6 months into my using, to where I did have a habit. I was using every single day. From the moment I picked up the first time and put a needle in my arm, I was using every day. And my son was a baby. He was about 9 months old or so. And I mean, I had him through that whole time. Like, you know, I dragged him through the mud, you know, and like brought him to this kid's house and we moved in there, you know. And like DSS started looking in on it, you know. They're not stupid. Like they looked in, they saw something going on. Yeah. And I thought I was clever enough to, you know, like I can do this, like, you know, like I can get away with this stuff, you know. And like I was taking drug tests for them here and there. And I just thought they would go away. I was like, they'll just go away and like, you know, I can live in my own little life, like my fantasy world with this boy and my son, and we're all a little family, you know. And I had my drugs and I felt good and like most of the time, you know.
So severe layers of denial were definitely present.
Definitely denial, you know. And before I even knew what hit me, you know, even then, like when I first started, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. But so as I was thinking, like, you know, my life is all right, like I left my son's father, like everything was okay, I had everything under control. You know, DSS did come back and they didn't go away. They were determined to open up a case. They were like, this kid has a record. The boy I was with, he has a record. I didn't have a record, nothing like that, you know. I wasn't a bad kid. Like I didn't get into trouble, nothing like that, you know. So they came in one day, unexpected, you know, came into the apartment. I was living with him and his mother, my boyfriend. And they came in and I was giving my son a bath. You know, like I was still trying to, you know, be his mother and everything. And I was giving him a bath and I was like, all like, yeah, I'm giving my son a bath, you know, what's going on? And so they were like, we want you to come down and take a drug test, you know. And like I was sick, you know, I was going through withdrawals. And the only thing that was going through my head at that point was, I need to get some stuff. I need to feel better. I need to get some stuff. Like if I had some stuff and I felt okay right now, I could better deal with this situation, you know. Little did I know that that's where this stuff was bringing me, you know. So they ended up...
How powerful is a disease when it's like, this is happening and DSS is there and they're ready to like take your kid and your disease is, you know, mind is thinking like, you know, not like, oh my God, like what's happening, but like, I'm sick, I need to like feel better.
Yep.
Wow.
That's basically all I was thinking about. I wasn't thinking about like anything, like the future, you know, I wasn't in the moment. Like I wasn't making rational decisions. I thought like, you know, like I had a lot of like confidence in myself. It was false confidence. You know, it's what my disease was telling me. Like, this is okay, you're all right, you know. And it was just like, so they left, and like I got this feeling like they're gonna be back, you know, because I didn't go. I didn't take the drug test, you know. That's just what we do. Like, just blow it off and it will go away. Right. You know, that's it. Like, I just want what I want, and I want it now, you know. Yep. So that didn't happen like that, you know. And so basically I was running around crazy, unmanageability all the way, you know. And like at that point, after like I felt better. That's only when I could function, when I felt better, when I did something. And so I was on the phone with my family. They lived like a state away in New Hampshire. I was begging them to please come down, please take my son, you know. And I was just living on like, I don't know what I was living on, just like instinct. Like, okay, this is what I got to do. This is my son, you know, like I got to keep him safe. And so they came down and they took him. And we wrote a little letter out saying like I gave custody to my parents.
Your parents came down and took him?
Yep, my family.
How old was David at this time?
He was about 9 months old.
Oh, okay.
9 months
still just
to a year old. Okay. Yeah, and he was just learning how to walk. Yeah. You know, and we used to run around with him, teaching him how to walk and everything like that. Like, you know, little stuff like that I don't really even remember too much of. I get glimpses of, and it's really sad. You know, it is really sad. And so basically what happened was that my parents came and they took him out the back door, and DSS was coming in the front door. like literally with a bunch of cops and everything. They came in and they sat me down at the table and they were coming to take my baby, you know? And I was just like, well, he's not here. They knew it was a mess. I was a mess. And that's what happened. He was gone that quick. I said, fine, I'll go into a program. I'm going to do this. I'll go into a program just because it will make you happy, you know? And so, like, I did go into a program. I wasn't planning on staying completely. I was only living on, like, what I should do, not for myself, you know? So I went into, like, a detox, and I was going to go into an aftercare program. And I called my mother, and she told me that they gave him to the father. And, like, and I realized, like, I lost him. Like, he's gone.
Right.
And, like,
who
that
gave
was
him to the father? Your parents?
my parents handed him over because, you know, he lied. He's like, I'll bring him back, but he didn't. And so basically,
so he had
like,
full custody of him at that time.
he took him and he took him to court and said I abandoned him. You know, he's trying to win. You know, he's trying to do his own thing. Like, he's going to say what he needs to say.
Right.
And he knew stuff that was going on where we were living. Like, I made horrible decisions with my son around. And, like, that's
obviously
just
nothing like in comparison to like how you are today. It's like
nothing.
Another lifetime. Basically.
I'm so protective of him today. I watch who he's around. I make sure he's safe. You know, like, I was like, I don't know, I was the bad influence with him.
Right.
And you don't even realize that.
So he's out of your life for a while.
Yeah, so let's kind of fast forward. Now, he's with his father.
Yep.
Well, once he went with his father, I'm going to take a wild guess you didn't go into the program and get cleaned up and live happily ever after.
No, definitely not. I had a temper tantrum. I was like, fine, I'm leaving this program. And my parents were like, why don't you come back with us? We'll help you. Get him back. We'll go to court with you. And I was like, no, I don't want that. I don't want that. You stabbed me in the back. I'm leaving. And that was it. Just threw it all up and left.
And you basically just went on a run, like using your disease was pretty much in the driver's seat at that point.
Yeah.
So how many years between that moment and, you know, was it like a matter of like years that you saw him, or were you able to see him once in a while?
This is like a sad thing that happened. Actually, like a week or so later that he got taken away, I was living in the apartment, and his father must have knew someone that lived next door, and they were babysitting him. And I opened the curtain. I'm like, is that my son? And my son was standing on the balcony right across from me. And it was like really sad, you know?
Wow.
And I'm like, and I worried, who's taking care of him? Who's taking care of him, you know? But after a while, like after I kept like, you know, begging, like, can I please come and see that was all it was for years, begging. I would be in and out of his life. It was like a revolving door. I'd see him at his godmother's house, and then I'd stay for a couple hours, and I had to leave. I had to meet someone. Like, there was always an excuse, always a reason why I had to leave.
So during this whole time, it never drove you to the point to get clean, and you just kept on using regardless and for years?
Well, he was out of my life, so it was easier.
Yeah.
I just kind of lost hope. I kind of just went to the, like a category of, you know, like I wasn't really the mother, I was just the person that went to see him, and, you know, like.
Did you think about him a lot?
All the time. All the time. Like, there was a period of time I wouldn't even say his name. Like, I mean, I'm not the victim here, I understand that he is.
Right.
But it does hurt me. It hurts me because, like, I got to live with it and everything. But
well,
I mean, it's just crazy, like the power of this like disease and what people need to understand.
And that's what, you know, because I support groups online and everything like that. The question we get, and we've got it with parents of, but we have people who will say, "How can you, okay? How can you give up your kid and not get clean? You're losing your kid. Why don't you get clean?" And, you know, obviously, we all know the answer. That it's not like turning on. But when somebody comes up to you, and I'm sure you've had them say that to you in the past, because I know we have, what do you say to someone when they come up and say, "Geez, all that time you lost with your son, why didn't you just get clean?"
I was powerless. Yeah. It's 100% powerlessness, because once I have that in my system, it just, I can't stop.
Person.
Well, tell me something. Did it make it easier to use with the fact knowing that your son was safe too? You really, I mean, I knew you were missing him, and I knew you didn't see him, but by you using, he wasn't in danger. He was in a safe place. So did that kind of make it a little easier to keep using? Or?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah?
It did. It became an inconvenience when he was with me.
Okay.
Because
yeah.
at first I didn't want him to be around when I was doing that stuff. And, you know, like, I kind of just accepted the fact that he was gone. You know, I kind of just accepted it. And when I was using, everything seemed hopeless.
Yep.
I didn't know how to get anything back. I didn't know how to do it. You know, it was just, it all seemed too big, you know.
Too overwhelming.
Too overwhelming. Like, I mean, that really hit me hard. Like, it really did. That was probably the worst thing that's happened to me at the beginning of my using, you know, and then as time went on, worse and worse. But that was the worst thing. And no one's ever taught me, you know, like, if you lose your son, you have to go out and do this and that. No, it was a learning process on drugs. And I tried to stay abstinence so many times, it didn't work.
So fast forward a little
Yeah,
bit
that's
now.
what okay, now we've gone through the dark days. You know, when you were trying to take care of him when he was a baby, and when you gave him away, and then when you lost him, and then when you continued to use because, like you said, it was almost like an inconvenience having him around and would get in your way with your using. Now, obviously, you're sitting here. What happened? What, you know, when did the light switch go off, or whatever you want to call it? What happened to finally say, enough?
After being out of his life for so long, and the only times I could see him is when I called and begged whoever he was with, dropping Easter baskets off on holidays, doing all that stuff, you know, and just seeing his face every time I left. And I realized, like, one day, like, I would be walking to his bus stop just to see him for 5 minutes, you know.
I don't mean to interrupt. What was his reaction towards you these times when he saw you?
He, like, put me on a pedestal.
Really?
He was so happy that he actually had a mother. I don't think he knew exactly what it meant.
Yeah.
But to actually have a mother and be able to call someone mom, like,
God.
it like brightened his face. Like, it was like beautiful.
That's something.
And he was not the reason I got clean and sober. The reason I got clean and sober was because, like, I wanted it for myself. I didn't want it to be dependent on some kind of substance.
Yep.
And I wanted the strength to be able to be there for him and my life. But
we're getting close. We only have like another minute before we take a little break.
But a light did go off after walking to the bus stop in the rain and snowstorms and everything like that. I sat down one day and I'm like, all I have to do is get clean. That's it. You know, it was like, it was this thing. All I got to do was get clean, you know. And then I opened my mind to, okay, how?
And then it became possible.
And you're sitting here.
Yeah.
And you're clean.
It's crazy.
All right. Folks, we never take a break when we do this show, but we are going to take one because we have a very special guest that we want to bring in for the last 10 minutes. And it's something we always try to put a positive spin. Liz has been very gracious to, you know, tell us what happens, not just to her, but to a lot of parents of kids who belong to an addict. And her story, just like parents, just like addicts, is no different than a million other stories. The thing is, she has the nerve to, number one, get clean, and the courage to come up and talk about it.
That's right.
So come right back. You're going to like this part.
For pregnant women, the threat of this year's flu season is very real. If you're expecting a baby, you're at higher risk of serious flu-related complications. That's why the CDC recommends pregnant women take simple steps to protect themselves and their babies. Cough or sneeze into your sleeve or a tissue. Get both the H1N1 and seasonal flu vaccines. Avoid contact with anyone who is sick, and if you do get sick, stay home and seek treatment immediately. For more information, go to flu.gov.
Hi, welcome back, and we're going to continue. We have a very special guest star. This is Liz's son, David, and we don't want to waste any time because we don't have that much time. So we're going to ask David, you and your mom see a lot of each other now? How's it going?
It's going good. Sometimes she watches me play my video game, but she never plays it. But
You don't play video games? No?
Do you guys have a lot? You guys have a lot of fun together. You look forward to because you guys spend weekends together, right? Like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes Monday. So you look forward to that all week?
Yeah.
You look up to your mom? Would you say that she's your hero?
Yeah, kind of.
Especially with the blue hair, right?
Yeah.
He loves me.
So how do you guys like talk on like so you see each other just on the weekends, right?
Yeah.
So like during the week, like do you guys like call each other and like talk to each other?
Yeah, in the morning and the afternoon, before and after
morning?
school.
Yeah. And what do you guys like talk about? Just like school and
Like what time she'll be picking me up, and like if I've done any pictures and stuff like that.
yeah.
Oh, I know your mom does pictures. You mean you do pictures too?
And some plans for the weekend. Mostly playing video games for me.
Would you say that is your favorite thing to do? Playing video games?
Third. First is gym and art.
Gym and art. So do you draw pictures for your mom?
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah. What have you drawn for her lately? Anything?
This was like it was either December or November. I made her a snow globe. My name on the bottom was Sparkles, and I put a fireplace, and in front of it there was a Christmas tree with presents on the bottom.
Wow, that's pretty creative.
Yeah.
Well, I forgot to give it to her though.
Well, that's all right. At least you made it. It's the thought that counts, right?
So Liz, what is it like having him around all the time now?
It's awesome. It's kind of hectic sometimes, though.
Yeah.
You guys look like so much alike. It's crazy, especially when you're laughing and smiling and stuff. You look like little twins or something.
So it's pretty cool having your mom around all the time like this now? Yeah, I know I see you quite often now too. So you're all over the place, ain't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you guys get to spend like holidays together, and like during the summer, do you get to see her more like in the summer because you don't have school, or pretty much
Yeah.
just on the weekends?
Yeah, mostly on the weekends, but I think we might be staying with her. I mean, I might be staying with her through February vacation.
Oh, a whole
I couldn't
week?
say it.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
Maybe. I'm not sure yet.
No school for a whole week?
Nope.
You gonna miss going to school?
No way. Except for gym and art.
For gym,
Yep.
you like gym and art?
Now, didn't he come over the house and use the pool one time too?
Oh yeah, I love
Yeah.
that pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you'll love it even more now. It's going to have no water in it. It broke.
Yeah.
We're going to fix it for you though.
He loves
Okay.
swimming.
Yeah. If you're
Yeah.
gonna come over swimming, you're gonna have to bring some water with
Yeah,
you.
we're gonna-
Oh, and I like swimming. Of course.
Yeah.
Playing
Swimming's
video
good.
games too.
I mean, now I've spent more holidays with him than ever. Like, I wasn't really able to see him on, his birthdays and stuff like that. I mean, we went up to Tennessee to visit my family.
Oh, wow.
Stuff like that.
Oh, you did?
It's crazy.
Oh, how cool is that?
Left the state, everything.
How'd you? What did you? Did you fly there?
Yeah, that was my first plane ride.
It
Wow.
was.
How was that? Was that fun? Or were you scared? Or were you nervous? Or
I
were you
was
just
like,
excited?
it was fun at first when we went fast. I felt like I was gonna go through all the seats, like.
But that didn't
then-
happen, thank God.
No.
Stayed in the seat.
And then, and through the wall. And then when we tipped it over, I'm like, why is where the sky should be white, like the sides all the way to the sky, and the
wow.
ocean? But it was because we were tilted
You were
all the
flying
way
over the
sideways,
ocean?
and I saw the plane.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
And there was
the
a
cloud.
cat on the plane, remember?
Oh yeah, Mom. I'm like, Mom, I hear a noise, and she's like, she said, it's probably just like a phone or a video game or something, and I'm like, and then like
There was
a
a
little
cat
while
under
later,
your foot.
Mom's like, Davey, look down, and I'm like, oh my God, a cattail.
a real cat was on the plane?
Yeah, there was a
Wasn't it?
cat.
Goodness.
There was a cattail right under the seat coming out.
What do you do in that situation?
I just
pet
like,
it, I guess,
I
right?
like jumped up, and then it just walked through to the other seat.
Wow. So there was a cat on the plane on the way to Tennessee.
Yep.
That's the first time I've ever heard anything
It
like
was
that
because
on the show, I think.
Did you buy
somebody
a ticket?
had it in like a little leather case, and it had dots so he could breathe, and apparently there was a hole in it, so it just climbed through, and there was a cat loose on the plane, and he's like, and the person who flies the plane, or who, the like waitress or something, I don't remember who it was.
The stewardess?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was like, whoever's cat this is, please come get it. And then somebody came and get it and gave it to the person who owned it.
Oh my God. So how long were you there in Tennessee?
We were there for a week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
About a week and a half.
Wow. And you had fun there? You have a lot of family down there?
We have I have an album in the car. It's in my backpack.
Oh, it's got like pictures like from the trip and everything?
And Nana wrote something on the front of it.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
So she wrote, so she gave you an album with like pictures and then wrote a nice little note on it?
Yeah.
Do you guys write notes to each other, write letters to each other?
Davey has written some letters to me.
Yeah.
Yep, and they're really nice. They always say, "I love you."
You love your mom a lot? How much would you say? Just like too much to even put into words?
Bigger than every galaxy in the world, probably.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's pretty big.
That is a lot.
Wow,
It is a lot.
unbelievable.
Yeah,
So what would you say like your favorite thing to do is like together? Do you guys watch movies together?
Probably like either go out and watch go to the movie theaters and watch a movie, or stay home and watch a movie.
Yeah.
Or play Monopoly,
You
which
guys
we
like
didn't
to read and
finish.
stuff too?
Oh yeah, in the night we sometimes read.
When we say our prayers together.
Yeah.
What do we say?
We like thank God for family and friends and everything like that, like
Letting
food
us
and water.
Be together.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Looks like you guys are doing pretty good together. Yeah.
So she's not just your mom; she's also like your friend, and you guys
Companion?
like you guys like laugh. Like anytime that I see you guys together, you're always laughing.
And you too.
Yeah, we do laugh a lot too.
She laughs like really loud when it's something funny.
Thank you.
Well, that's good. Laughing's good, right? It means you're having fun. You're having a good time. You know, enjoying your time together.
It's like something happened to the funny bone, except the opposite happened.
The opposite happened to the funny bone.
Opposite happened then like that.
Oh, okay. So do you guys have any, so it's Thursday, so tomorrow will be Friday, so you guys are going to spend the weekend together?
Yep.
Do you have anything fun planned, going to any stores or?
He loves to go to get games and books. We
Yeah.
read now.
And Morse books. And
Right.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Yep.
I told you the time would go by quick.
Wow, it's already 10 minutes.
We only have like a minute and a half left. I want people to realize, okay, good things happen to good people when they do good things.
Yeah.
And here's proof right here. You got a loving mother, and you got a son who obviously adores her. I'm so glad you came on our show. I really am. And can't tell you how many people you're going to help by just being here, by what you've said, and by people seeing what can happen,
Yep.
the good things. Carl?
Yeah, thank you guys both for coming on the show. It's like, really brave to do that because,
Yes,
I've
it
asked
is.
people to come on before. Oh, no, I can't. And, you were more than willing, like, yeah, okay, let's do it. And so thank you, both of you for coming on and just talking about how you feel. And you're definitely going to, help people, and that's
Is
always a
anybody
good
you like
thing.
to say hi to? We're on TV. You can say hi to somebody if you want.
Like Dad and Kristen, my
Okay.
stepmom and dad.
Okay, that's super.
Here we go, a little shout
And
out.
Nana, Grandpa, Auntie Sarah, and Uncle Mark and
Okay.
Amanda from Tennessee. And Uncle Matt and Aunt Amy.
Yeah, well,
There
you
we
want to
go.
know something? If it's on YouTube, you can tell them when they can watch it down here.
Oh, yeah.
All right. All right, guys, again, thank you, volunteers. I hope the viewers will really pay attention to this episode. I've been getting a lot of questions, a lot of people wanting to know what happens to the children. And you can see that in some cases, something really good happens.
Yep, families recover.
Yeah.
Not just the addict, the whole family recovers.
So with that, we're going to see you next month. Liz, David, Pauline, myself. Bye.
Bye.
Say bye,
Thank you.
Bye.